God, what the hell is that?
I'm the sheriff. I'm the sheriff.
You're the police. Where are your badges? I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
That's because I'm a stunt. I'm a genuine sports personality. A legendary folk hero.
Jesus Christ.
Mary is very bad as cat joke. Even the guards are terrified of him.
You can call me when I have to call my lawyer. They bring me a telephone. Would you like to leave me your home phone number?
I don't want to hear any of this. I don't want to hear no more of this.
Wait a minute, I'm just getting to the weird part.
The weed part.
Yeah, it gets weird.
Say we take off, look the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Let's do it.
Can you do that?
I can do anything. I'm the chief of police.
Had somebody get a hold of me yesterday. Hey, you live? Oh, I'm alive. You can do a show? Wow. How's the show going to go tomorrow? I'll tell you how the show's going to go tomorrow.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. On that farm he shot some guys. Bada boom, bada bing, bang, boom.
That's what's up. Morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the something of October. That's August. I don't fucking know. Who gives? I'm retired. I don't give a shit. I don't care what day it is. Unlike hey, how was your Tuesday, everybody? Who gives a shit? Fucking, yeah. We are going to have a ball, though. We're going to take some people down today. I had sick all yesterday. Man, I was doing kind of mediocre, and then yesterday shit just went way sideways. I think it was because I was on with the Outlaws Monday night, and I got after it a bit. I ain't gonna lie. We had a good time. We had fun. But then yesterday, boy, I pulled up lame. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm sorry. I couldn't do it. I couldn't hardly talk. I'm jacked to the gills right now on cold medicine. So we're going to have some fun. I have no idea where the hell the show's going to go, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what day it is. I don't know. I'm not quite Joe Biden-esque this morning, but I'm a little behind the power curve, to be fair. So we'll see what happens. It'd be a good time, though. I got some goofy shit. I was perusing this morning. I'm like, I'm going to pick the goofy stuff out today. A couple of political things, but mostly it was just really stupid shit. Got a bid on Dollar Shave Club, which is while the kid was here, I was looking for razor. She likes to shop for, makeup and shit. And while she's doing that, I'm like, I'm going to be over in the razors because I don't wear makeup and this is fucking boring to me. Man, fucking razor market. To be fair, I use, and we'll get to this later on, use American made. Barbasol, make good razors and good, shave stuff, all that. So I go that route because they're the one company that didn't piss me the hell off with that woke bullshit. We'll get to that. But I saw a razor story this morning. Oh, I'm going to get on that. See where everybody's at this morning. Morning, Zephyr. Right, first one in the door. How you doing? Good morning. Good to see you. I don't know if I should I always have 0, and then as soon as I fire up the intro, man, people start strolling in, and I'm like, maybe I need to do one of these 20-minute intro things like everybody else, but I only got an hour show, generally speaking. Some days I get long-winded and start rambling. Meds kick in, and I'm like, woohoo. That's bullshit. I don't really take meds. But coffee kicks in and all that. Oh, hey, Old Man Hatfield's back. Hey, welcome. Morning, young man. Oh, get out of here with that bullshit. Oh, thank you, Old Man Hatfield. Spider, my man. Saying good morning. Not good morning to me. Good morning to Zephyr. What do you two got going I need to know about, Spider? What's up with that? My brother Graham Robbins here for the ride this morning. Outstanding. Man, it's good to see everybody. Good to see you all. Yeah, I apologize for yesterday. I was fucking beat up. I had yesterday I had this thing go through my mind when I woke up out of bed. I had an old boy I used to work with. We'll call him Bob. The long-winded intros, they keep me from watching. Yeah, I see the long-winded intros. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to go live. I'm going to start talking, doing my thing. I can't stand them 15, 20-minute intros. Kino, they're fun. They're entertaining. I get that songs from CWC. But legit, I turn it up. I listen to the first one because I like that song. The rest of them I don't care for. And then I just kick out until, I know they're going to be on. I'm like, I'm going to kick out for a half hour and come back. So I ain't doing that shit. Minute and a half, 2 minutes. I'm working on a new intro now. I'm going to try and keep her under 5 minutes, but I got a lot of good clips. I'm trying to put them together. And we'll see how that goes. I'll whip that on by the end of the week. By the time I dump Rumble, which would be this Friday, by the way, if you're on Rumble, I ain't going to do that shit no more after Friday. We talked about it. I have come to the end of my rope with stinking Rumble and their entire platform. It's bad enough you give Jeremy Hambley a bunch of, 7,000 views, fake views, but everybody on there is just greasy. And the stuff they show is greasy, Rumble wallet, all that bullshit. So, yeah, the water. Excuse me. Ooh, sorry, hope we don't have too many of them. Okay. Yeah, the water's fine over here on Kick. Do that. Jump on in, folks. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Zephyr says, did y'all hear about the stunt Perez Hilton pulled on a live TikTok? TikTok took the live down, SWAT showed up. Yeah, I saw that. People, I'm imagining clicks might be, on their way down, and things are not going. I got to be honest, I barely know who Perez Hilton. I am familiar with the name. That's about it. Hey, man, good luck over there, Hatfield. Have a good morning at the doc's office. You can listen. You can just learn. That's fine. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, tell a neighbor, put signs up in your yard, all that bullshit. Because we're not monetized, so, tell a friend. He ain't even going to do that. You boomer. He can't even watch it. Look at that. Oh, no, I'm going to the doctor's office. Can't watch it on my phone. I'm out of here. He's going to play the VOD back later. And I'm like, man. But I had this old boy yesterday. I'll get back to my story. I had this old boy that I used to work with, and he was a rough old dude. He's a Vietnam vet. He was a tunnel rat. I'm not talking one of these bullshit guys in a bar telling stories kind of, he was a tunnel rat. I mean, legit. Guy was, like had a necklace of human ears kind of tunnel rat. And he was a sergeant at the time. I was a lowly, officer. And I walked in one day. You had kind of walked by the sergeant's offices to get to, report. I was going to clean up some paperwork. Anyway, I stopped by, seen him sitting in there, and I said, hey, Bob. And Bob was about 1,000,000 years old to me at the time. And he was a rough old boy, short, real stocky, real fire pluggy dude. He was rough. He was a rough old boy. Nice guy, but goddamn, he could just, guy could crack coconuts with his bare hands kind of dude. And I sat down and said, how you doing, Bob? And he didn't hardly move. He must have just turned his head over. He was kicked back, feet up on his desk, chair kind of tilted back a little bit. And he just leaned his head over and he goes, getting old ain't for pussies. And I just busted out laughing. Like, I'm sure there's a pretty good story behind this, Bob. What's ailing you? That's kind of how I felt yesterday morning when I woke up. I saw Bob staring at me going, getting old ain't for pussies. And I fucking phoned it in, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I ain't doing it today. And I thought of Bob making fun of me, like, get your sissy ass up. I'm like, I can't do it, Bob. I couldn't talk for 30 seconds without coughing my guts out. So I'm like, all right, I better not try her today. We're gonna do. And then this morning I woke up, I got looped out of my mind on cold meds yesterday and sat around and did nothing all day. I got outside. That's bullshit. Actually, I get out and I walk around because pneumonia when you get older is a bitch. So I get up and move around, got to sweat it out a little bit. I did that a little bit yesterday afternoon. I'm like, okay, I think I might live. And this morning got up early. Mrs. McCoy come home. Boy, she was hot. The hell you think you're doing staying up late drinking with the outlaws? You're already sick. Then yesterday afternoon, she put her foot in my ass. And then I got babied a little bit last night. I'm like, okay, I'll get to bed early. And I did. And here we are. So we're going to do all that. Enough of that old person sick talk bullshit. And then I got up this morning, felt great. I was like, okay, well, let's get back after it. And I started looking at the news, and I'm like, holy shit. There's some goofy shit out there today. I'm going to do it. That fucking people, oh, there's a real drought. There's never a drought in the news. A bunch of bullshit. You just don't have any imagination. May have been pulled off X2, that Perez. Yeah, I know. Okay. It was pulled off X, by the way, just so you know. We'll get to that part here in a minute. We got a whole bunch of stuff. I want to start out. Let's just go ahead and bang it out right off the bat. Let's do this. I want to take the music down to a dull roar here. I got up. I stream political news generally first. That's kind of first. I got to go to CFP. You get all the headlines. You get to see, what's what, who's who. And one of my all-time favorites that this woman is a walking news story in herself. Senator Susan Collins. Every time I read her name, I get that door shock moment. Has voted against Todd Blanche for AG. And that was not unexpected to me, much like old boy touching the door. He knows he's going to get shocked. This does not shock me, right? I knew this was coming. Her reason for doing so, I found ridiculous on its face. I will go over her little tweet here on X. Break this down a minute. I have carefully reviewed Susan Collins, who sounds not unlike me, frankly. A little less stuffy. I have carefully reviewed. I got to lower my voice for Susan Collins. I have carefully reviewed Todd Blanche's qualifications to be Attorney General. This includes his record and responses to questions from senators at the DOJ appropriations hearing, his confirmation hearing, and in the weeks that followed. Susan Collins is staunchly, solidly left. Let's just throw that shit on the table. And I'll get to that in a minute because we're going to scroll down and see some funny stuff, including Cat Turd, who was the first one in line to put a foot in her ass. I think Cat Turd's funny. I'm not on X, but I see that name. Him, her, I don't know, and I don't give a shit. But I see them all the time in stories, and it's always pretty straight to the point. I think that's funny. While I believe Mr. Blanche is a capable lawyer, the DOJ has become increasingly political. That's the one I want to start with. Susan Collins is willfully being full of shit right here. She didn't start yesterday. She is not of AOC's class. Like, I've been here, 2 years, whatever. Susan Collins been around for a long time. For her to make a ridiculous fucking statement like this, the DOJ has become increasingly political. The DOJ has been political since Bobby Kennedy was the AG, all right? Before that, even, that's just the ones that I can do off the top of my head. I can go, he did this, that, the other thing. You think that Jimmy Hoffa thing was because he was trying to crack organized crime? Bullshit. He hated his brother. That's why he dragged him in front of God and everybody. Give me a fucking break. Mr. Blanche has taken several actions that have further eroded the department's independence. The department's not independent. And that is the basis for my vote to oppose his confirmation. Bullshit. Money is the basis for her vote to oppose his confirmation. Susan gets paid. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Maine or knows people from Maine. Oh, we'll get Zephyr's already reading ahead into the, don't jump on me. I'm old. I'm slow. Why'd she confirm Holder? Yeah, we'll get there. Trust me. There's a tweet at the bottom of her in response to her that points out a couple of her dandies like, let me point you to these other ones that you had no problem voting for that were incredibly political. It's all political. Mr. Blanche approved an order to shield the president, his sons, and the family business from IRS audits, protections unavailable to other American taxpayers. If you have a good tax attorney and a good accountant, you're already shielded from the IRS. I don't need special protections. Okay? I think there are some times when you should protect people from the IRS. I think the IRS is a terrorist organization, to be quite honest with you. They go, they serve a necessary... bullshit. Those people are insane. He approved the creation of a $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. Literally arguing against your argument. Ugh. He promised an anti-abortion... Now, listen to this one carefully. This is my favorite. He promised an anti-abortion organization that he would seek to prohibit the mailing of abortion medication to women nationwide. Okay, I read that one and read seek to prohibit. You know what I heard? Endeavor to persevere. I heard, think about fixing to get ready. That's not exactly, binding language, seek to prohibit. And I don't disagree with them. Law of the land. We're not going to mail abortion medication to women nationwide. If it's illegal in your state, we're not mailing it. Let me ask you this, Susan. If marijuana is illegal in the state of Montana, should I be able to mail it there from Colorado? Shut up. Under his leadership, the department attempted to indict Mark Kelly and Alyssa Slotkin over their ill-advised but constitutionally protected videos encouraging resistance to unlawful orders. Show of hands, how many people out there are familiar with the UCMJ? Which both of those two are subject to, by the way. Whoops. Let's go on, Sue. This is my favorite. More than 1,200 former DOJ employees have opposed his nomination, arguing that he has undermined the institution. Let's sidebar for a second. Former employees typically are not usually happy, especially if it's a political organization, government organization. Depending on the administration, they're not real happy with the organization all of a sudden. And it goes back and forth, left and right, constantly. If you think, and the DOJ has been pretty solid leftist for a while. Most of the federal government, pretty solid leftist for quite some time. They're embedded like ticks. You think because somebody got, because Trump got elected, the entire DOJ all of a sudden is right wing? Are you out of your fucking mind? Those people are still there. And they don't like when a new boss comes down and says, gravy train's over, boys and girls. They don't like that shit. And I couldn't give a shit less what former employees of an agency have to say about, the current stance of the agency or the new direction. I don't care. If you've ever worked with the federal government, feds are interested in one thing, saving their ass. They're interested in who their boss is and making them happy. Not doing the right thing, not doing their job, looking good to their boss. That's it. Typically, people at the federal government level, has been my experience. I got a few years under my belt with the feds as a private contractor. They're hardcore leftists. They go with the flow. Those people typically don't just change. They hide it. Another agency head comes in and they're, the opposite end of the spectrum. They just hide it more carefully. They just shut their mouths for a while, keep their head low, and don't do anything at all. It's this is a good one from Graham. Wait, rich folks try and shield their wealth from taxation? Surely it's only conservatives, Tories, right wing, never any leftists. Yeah. How much money's Bernie Sanders got? The socialist extraordinaire. Bernie Sanders got some cash. Hell, AOC's wealth has shot up. Never ceases to amaze me. Oh, eat the rich. You are the rich now. Anyway, here's how well this went over. I don't understand why Susan Collins, Linda Murkowski, Lisa Murkowski, whatever her fucking first name is, who gives a shit? All I know about is her voting record, which sucks. How are these people still? There's a few other ones. I'm not going to suggest those two. How are they still in the Republican Party? That blows my mind. At what level does the party, leadership not step in and go, get your shit, get a U-Haul, make one trip. You're out of here. Here's cat turd right off the bat. Seriously? Fuck you, piece of shit. Succinct, poignant, logical. I like it. Sounds good. Just for use with this app, which I think is a funny name. Hello, at Senator Collins. I've carefully reviewed... Okay, Zephyr, this is your part. Check this out. I've carefully reviewed your voting record since you came to the Senate in 1997. You voted to confirm all 3 Democrat Supreme Court justices who reached a floor vote from 97 through 25. You voted to confirm Sotomayor, Kagan, Jackson. It goes down the list. I'm not going to do the show more. It goes into a whole long list of here's all the times you voted with the left. Not just a little bit. We're not top. Look, Sotomayor, Kagan, Jackson. You can go, well, they're left to center. You are putting about as much spin on that as you can. They're hardcore left. And there's a bunch of hardcore left shit in there he's got votes on. You voted to confirm the corrupt Merrick Garland in November. In November, Republicans will be a hard no on you. No, they won't. That's the thing that always weirds me out about Maine. I don't understand how they keep electing Susan Collins. I mean, to be fair, they just scraped out from underneath Graham Plattner last moment. Hey, Jim, what's going on? Italian Jim shows up. What's going on, brother? Excuse me one second. Lee. It's just a weird place. I can't really describe it. You look at the people up there, and they're relatively hard people for the most part. Most of them, working people. They run businesses. How they get so far, man, how they get so far out of whack. I don't get that. That eat the rich part, Graham. We should sell t-shirts. Eat the rich. In parentheses, than I am. Yeah, it's eat the rich until they are the rich. I love when Hollywood celebrities trying to pull that bullshit. Oh, we need to tax the rich. Okay, listen. If you, Tim Robbins, whoever, he's just the first one that crops to mind. Matt Damon, whatever. Hey, whenever you want to, lob 40, 50 million at some problem that you think we have that money's going to solve, that your people created, you feel free to step right up. Open your doors. I would venture to say, if you're living in the hills, there's a few homeless people right around your area. Open your doors. Put up a sign. Homeless welcome here. Put your money where your mouth is. I hate that shit. Spider Susan Collins will be there until she's a veg, like Al admits. Yeah, that ain't no lie. First of all, I'm not following the Mitch McConnell saga. Has anybody seen him yet? Has he been seen in public? Or is he actually just hanging with Mama JF? At this point, Mitch McConnell and Mama JF have the same status to me. If you're not following that little drama, that's a dandy right there. Be wheeling Collins in like they did Feinstein, maybe. We're going to have a story a little bit down the road. There's this split. I got a thing on here about how the hard left won primaries yesterday, and everybody's the left is making their move. Bullshit. These are people that have been doing it forever, aging out. I'm in that demographic now that nobody gives a shit unless you're in AA, unless you pay AARP dues, which I do not, because they're a hardcore leftist organization, by the way. If you're a member of AARP or you're thinking about giving money to AARP, you better be a Democrat, because that's where your money's going. It's going to Democrat PACs, all of it, every dime of it. You're going to get a magazine once a month, and the rest of that shit goes straight to Democrat candidates. Is exactly how that rolls. Now, I made a point about the DOJ has always been, hardcore political. Sometimes mostly left, just because that's how it shakes out. Sometimes right. I'm not going to lie. Reagan years, a little bit different. But for the last I would say 30 years. Been fairly hardcore left. Now, if you think I'm lying, if anybody thinks I'm exaggerating, this little gem popped up this morning while I was horsing around. FBI follies. FBI is the enforcement arm of DOJ. Just to be clear. I think everybody knows that, but for anybody watching doesn't know that, that's where you're at. FBI follies. Bureau secretly probed Trump as a Russian asset for firing Comey, declassified memos. I ain't going to line by line this thing. FBI opened a criminal probe specifically targeting Donald Trump May 2017, alleging the new 2017 now. Susan Collins is talking about it has recently become politicized. I just some days, man, the amount of willful just not paying attention to shit, just glossing over things you know to be untrue makes me.
Boy, I tell you, some days, one of these days it's just gonna be like.
I can't stand that. If you're going to be stupid about something, listen, I got no problem with somebody that's ignorant and knows that they're ignorant and keeps their mouth shut. I'm okay with that shit. They know they're. Forrest Gump knew he was not a smart man. I'm good with people like that. Okay. If you're stupid and you think you're smart, that's a problem. If you're stupid and you think you're smarter than me, i.e. you're arrogant, and you think you can just lie your ass off to me, right to my face, that shit's insulting. I don't want to go too far down this road, but you know why people like Jeremy Hamblin get so much hate on the internet? When they get caught lying? A lot of people lie. A lot of people tell lies, and not too many people get bent about it because they go, yeah, that's bullshit. But when you're so fucking arrogant about it, just throw it right in people's faces. Like, yeah, I'm lying. Fuck you going to do about it? That's when people get a little bent. You know? That's when people get a little spun up. There's a whole, I mean, I'm not going to read this line by line because, like I said, this is, we could do 20 minutes on this. I got other shit. This just popped up. I don't have time, but it will go down the story just as a goof. I'll pull it out of there. Records would later show Comey was fired on the merits because the DOJ believed he mishandled the Hillary Clinton email investigation. And the department's own independent IG would later conclude that Comey, quote, violated longstanding department practice and protocol, end quote, with his conduct in the Clinton case. I'm here to tell you, not only did he violate department, long-standing department policies, the guy got on TV, announced, yeah, we're going to have an investigation because shit was coming to a head. And this is 2 weeks, if I remember right. Now, I'm getting old. My grasp of time, we've determined, a little shaky. I remember seeing Jim Comey go on TV and saying this, and it was literally less than a month before. I want to say it was 2 weeks before the election. And he says, we're going to do an investigation. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing right now? Normally the FBI doesn't, they're like, we can't comment on ongoing investigations. Can't comment on that shit. He got on TV in front of God and everybody. Made a big deal. Not 2 days later. Yeah, well, we found this, but it's nothing that any reasonable prosecutor would take up. First of all, that's not the FBI's job. You go out and you find A, violation, B, no violation. You immediately turn that shit over to DOJ and go, here, bye. Now, a 2-day investigation on some shit like that is ridiculous. I've investigated car thefts longer than that. I've investigated bicycle thefts longer than that. And then he came out again on TV to try and exonerate her. I knew instantly then and there, I'm like, this son of a bitch is so in the bag for this whore. It's unbelievable. How fucking dare you get on the air and pull some shit like that? Was the best campaign ad she ever had. She still got the little shit kicked out of her, so it didn't really make any difference. But for somebody like Susan Collins now to stand up there and go, yeah, Todd Blanche he's politicizing the DOJ. Get fucked. Just get straight fucked. Yeah, we're going to see, you keep reading ahead. Stop reading my mind. We're going to get to that. Just hang on. We'll get there. Zephyr's Al Sayed one in Michigan. Yeah, I know. God dang it. Unless you want to be an editor and start doing work for me for free, you better just hang on, Chief. No, it's cool. I'm glad. It just shows me you're in the right place. I'm in the right place. You're in the right place. Clearly, everybody here is on the same sheet of music. Yeah, here you go. Graham Robinson. This is funny to me. If you think they're no stupid but think they're smart folks out there, find me a TikTok video talking about how racist white people is without a smoke detector going and chirping in the background. You could do that shit all day long. How this, that, and the other things suck, and they're doing the exact thing that they're complaining about. Oh my God, that shit's everywhere. If you can't make a point about being hypocritical, like while you're doing it, you need to hang out somewhere else other than TikTok. Tell people how stupid they are and how awful things are. All right. Since Zephyr is in such an all-fired hurry, since this happened to be the next tab, and Zephyr's in such a hurry to get there. That's right. Laugh it up. Laugh it up, dog lover. Left wins big in Midwest. And Perez Hilton is hospitalized. Morning rundown. We got a bunch. There's more than those two, but we are going to hit them real quick. Takeaways. I just love doing this because left wins big in Midwest. It's a bullshit headline. Perez Hilton is hospitalized. That part's probably true. But left wins big in Midwest. Let's break this down. Takeaways from Abdul El Sayed's big win in Michigan. No state or race loomed larger than Michigan's Democratic Senate primary. Think about that for a second. Democratic Senate primary in a state, in a group of states that has lost their collective mind. I'll tell you what's going on at the end of this and gone hardcore left. Okay. It's a primary. You have winnowed out from your party anybody who has any semblance of reason or logic or patience or critical thinking. You are left with the left. Okay. Their overall numbers are down huge. They go straight to independents. Same thing with Republicans. If you think I'm making that shit up, go out and do the numbers. Membership of all three parties. How many Republicans, how many Democrats, how many independents? What have their numbers looked like over the last 10 years? Each end, I don't think the political spectrum is a straight line left and right. It's a circle. But each one of the extremes is just dumping people left and right. Independents are coming into their own. Their numbers are huge, and they should be, because the parties both have collectively lost their shit. Republicans don't say what they mean. They don't mean what they say. Leftists are out of their goddamn minds. That leaves everybody sort of in the middle. So there you go. But the NBC makes this big ass deal about, takeaways from this Democrat primary. Who, first of all, it's not Democrat-ic. It's Democrat. Democrat-ic is a process. It is a form of government. Democrat, big D, stop at T, is the name of a party. It's proper now. I can't fucking stand when they do that. And it's on purpose, and it's sneaky, and they do it all the time because Republicans get that AN. Yeah, well, it's a little bit different story. Republic by itself is not a process. It is also a noun. Michigan has a large Muslim population, Jim points out. Oh, yeah, everybody does now because nobody's fucking paying attention. Look, I can drive an hour and a half up the road and swing a dead cat and hit a mosque. Everybody does. And I'm in Texas, brother. Nobody's paying attention. I'm not going to say a bunch of hateful shit. Everybody knows my stance on the religion. I think they're barbarians. I don't care. You can argue with me all you want. I don't give a shit. Any religion treats women the way they do and has some of the idea. It's a religion of submission. Christianity is a religion of free will. Islam is a religion of submission by force if necessary. You join whichever one you want. I don't care. But you can try and change my mind on that. You'd be wasting both of our time. Not going to happen. And nobody seems to, that's fine. They'll get it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, and I'll tell you how I got there. Graham says that's a great way to put it. And let me tell you how I got there. I have spent time with both peoples, extended time, and talked about their religion with them. And that is, I think the best way to really, I hate to say drive a point home, because I hate platitudes and bumper stickers, but that is the best way that I have found to simple those two things up in a nutshell that best encapsulates them. One is a religion of free will. The other is a religion of submission by force, if necessary. And when you treat your women the way you do, I got no time for you. Love women. Love everything about them. God's greatest gift to man, hands down. Whiskey's a close second. But when you abuse that, I got no time for you. You can get straight out of my face with that. You tell that story walking. And if anybody knows about Islam and some of their practice, I'm not talking just about the things that people that watch the mainstream media know, that, some woman in Iran got a beating because she wasn't wearing, her hijab just right. I'm talking about the vile, evil, horrible stuff that you got to dig a little bit to find, or nobody wants to talk about, but happens all over the world. But check some of that shit out. So yeah, Abdul El Sayed won in Michigan's Democratic Senate primary. Good on you. Good luck. This is me. I've given up trying to explain to people that don't want to be told this is an incredibly bad idea, and they just do shit repeatedly. I'll tell you where I learned that. You go to the same house that has a domestic violence problem for the 7th time, you get sick of it. You look at both of them and go, you know what? Don't call us anymore. You're clearly not interested in working this out. I'll just wait for the neighbors to call when one of you kills the other one. Because it's infuriating on a level that you can't explain. Sometimes you just got to let people make that mistake and clean up the pieces. And this whole, hardcore leftist and, hardcore Muslims in politics thing, they're not going to learn. They got to learn the hard way. Most people are like that. It ain't just that. Every lesson in life, I find. People don't learn a lesson until they get hurt from it. Yeah, they're coming for your canines next. Part of the reason, I shouldn't even say, I'm not going to do that. One of the things I like about dogs, Muslims can't stand them. That tells me who you are as a person. That's man's best friend. The world over, except for you. What does that tell you right off the bat? It's kind of like that part in Full Metal Jacket where Cowboy says, you know what I hate about Vietnam? There's not one horse in this country. There's something wrong about a place like that. He ain't lying. If your religion says you don't dig dogs, yeah, I got a problem with you right there. I just went over the dog lovers in the audience. Zephyr was already here, so that didn't, that didn't count. But Jim brings up an interesting point. We kind of went down a rabbit hole, and I'm feeling pretty good. So we're going to go a ways down. How are we doing? 38 minutes? Yeah, we're doing fine. This has always amazed me. Jim says Jewish voters went overwhelming for Mamdani. Go figure. Excuse me one second before I get to this point. Sorry about that. I'll be gross for a second and share. Decongestion's kicking in. I got to take care of it. Jewish voters went overwhelming for Mamdani. Jewish voters go overwhelming for Democrats. They're overwhelmingly Democrat. I have never understood an ethnic/religious group of people that continuously votes against their own best self-interest. I don't get that. Somebody explain that to me. Got a party that doesn't want my nation state to exist, vociferously. Got a party that continuously enacts legislation that works against my best interest, votes to support people that want to kill me. How does that, what goes on in your head that makes you think, well, yeah, but they're a nice guy. Where does that, how do you make that leap? No, they're not. There's a lot of secular Jews, though, as that verse says. Yeah, I'll give you that. But the secular and Orthodox and everybody in between, there's no distinction there. I've never seen one. If somebody can explain it to me, that'd be great. I don't know everything. I'm not big on the Jewish. I'm not up on all of their practice. I'm fairly familiar with the group ethnically and religiously, but I don't know everything about them. So I could be wrong, but suicidal empathy. Okay, so the entire Jewish people have Stockholm syndrome. All right, got it. Oh, hey, Darth. Yeah, I know. Darth says, hey, work's getting in the way of him watching YouTube. Yeah, that'll happen. Fucking work. Stupid gameful employment. I know. I agree. That's why I gave it up. I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing that shit no more. It's boring. It's tedious. It's hard sometimes. I don't like it. I don't get what I consider to be enough money to do it. That's not really why I quit. Actually, I did get paid pretty good from time to time, so I can't really complain about it. And I did have some good jobs. They were fun. Had some that sucked, but for the most part, they were pretty good. We've all discussed this. My father died of cancer early. It's my stepfather, so it's not genetic. Everybody just don't freak out. But watching that up close, I made a decision the moment that he passed. It's not going to be me, because he died before he retired. And I'm like, yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening at all. And I made the decision the moment I'm able to do so financially, lifestyle-wise, all that. I'm cutting loose. And I did. It's working out pretty good. I could make a stupid decision probably later on today, sometime tomorrow, that could change all that. But until then, we're fine. Morning, Marianne. That's okay. No. You're like playing dinkum. Look, if you're going to be late, it better be for a good reason. And playing dinkum's a pretty damn good reason to be late. So you're off the hook. I will accept your tardy slip. Get to your seat. All right, let's get back to the NBC rundown. So while left-wing candidates have advanced in this year's Democratic primaries in New York and Colorado, Michigan represent the first test of whether those successes were transferable to a different sort of playing field. No, man, stupid. Doesn't matter what state you're in. Stupid is stupid. California and New York have been exporting stupid all over the country, and it's catching on in different places. Sure, it happens. That is not surprising. It's not a big win. It's not unexpected. Michigan, Wisconsin, all that. Illinois is bleeding into there. Ohio. It happens. You can't fix stupid. I can't quote the numbers exactly, so I'm not going to do it because I hate to misquote the Bible. But there is a part in the Bible about there being this great fog. I'm paraphrasing and kind of fixing it up a little bit. This great illusion that people are living in the end times. And I legitimately look at politics as part of that. There are other parts of that we're going to get to here in a couple of minutes that will kind of prove that point. But I think people are there's this mass stupidity. COVID really proved that out. You look at that and you go, God dang. Education system really has gone to hell. People can't think 2 seconds past their nose. SpaceX hit by surging AI costs. Don't want to do that one. Janine Pirro's fighting with Donald Trump. Who gives a shit? You should. I got to be honest with you. You should fight with your subordinates and your boss from time to time. There should be no lockstep. I hate lockstep administrations. That means nobody's doing any thinking. Janine Pirro and Donald Trump got into it. Good. Good on both of you. He hasn't fired her yet. He might. I don't know. Can't say I'm particularly worried one way or the other. I don't think Janine Pirro is the end-all be-all of, legal minds. So, whatever. Get to the good stuff. Man arrested at Trump Golf Club days before president's visit. There's a fella who was walking around Trump National Golf Course, armed. Deputies found a loaded magazine with hollow point bullets. Ooh. I love scary media stories. In Janine John Taylor's pants pocket and weapons in his vehicle as well as at his home, which was searched on Monday, Sheriff's Department said. Authorities also said they discovered multiple notebooks containing concerning statements at Taylor's home. Federal judge says that Taylor's been charged with possession of an unregistered short-barreled rifle. I'm going to tell you two things. Number one, there's some question as to whether or not, first of all, you're mentally unbalanced. That goes without saying. You know, you're stalking somebody, you're mentally unbalanced. There ain't no way around that. You ain't shaking that. Number two, there's some speculation, and I'm having a hard time finding whether or not this individual is a trans person. Some say yes, some say no. The background's already been scrubbed, so it's kind of tough to, get through. Are they, aren't they? I don't really care. It does go to prove a point that I like to make when you do have trans individuals who are doing stupid shit like mass shootings. Not any different than any other crazy person, let's be fair. My point is, why add wood to the fire? I got trans stories down the road. We're going to hit that. Mental illness is mental illness. I don't care what color it comes in, what shape it comes in. We got to get on this shit. All right? We got to stop pretending that people aren't crazy and fix them. It's Jim. Okay, so let me do this. Jim brings up the other point that I was going to make. Thank you for the segue, Jim. Did he have an assault weapon? Thank you, Jim. I've looked at several stories on this. Even in some of these stories, not that first one so much because it was fairly politically oriented. That's what you do. I have noticed on this particular rundown, this is a very short story. The fight with Trump and Jeanine Pirro, Judge Jeanine, is a fairly short story. Let me do this. I'm going to line by line this Jeanine Pirro one just for a goof. You listen to this and think about it for a second. Think if you can tell where I'm going with this story. Jeanine Pirro's future as U.S. Attorney for D.C. uncertain after she, quote, had it out with President Donald Trump reportedly during a contentious White House meeting on Monday. The clash followed Pirro's decision to drop a felony case accusing a former Olympic canoeist of vandalizing the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, according to a source. I don't like that phrase. Tell me your source. I don't like uncredited sources. But Trump stopped short of firing her. The source, who was briefed on the meeting, I also don't like that you're quoting them when they weren't there. That's not a source. That's hearsay. The source who was briefed on the meeting said Trump remained, quote, pretty furious, end quote, with Pirro a day later. Pirro reportedly brought evidentiary documents to a meeting in an effort to rebut Trump's claims that she was responsible for the case's collapse. On to the next story. I find that fairly innocuous as far as political bias goes, which I found weird for NBC. This next one that we talked about, man arrested at Trump Golf Club, also 2 paragraphs, couple of sentences, fairly innocuous. The words assault rifle do not appear, semi-automatic or automatic pistol do not appear, which are always incorrect in the media. So, I know, I'm getting there, Jim. Hold on. I'm getting there. I'm seeing this more and more. I am fairly heartened by this. I will tell you the name that I think is making this more prevalent. Oddly enough, this is the name that comes to my mind when I'm reading these stories. David Ellison. I will get to that later. Like the fact that CBS and 60 Minutes and CNN are getting literally eviscerated. I think the media is waking up. Okay, we're not getting away with this shit any longer. We've kind of screwed up. Yeah, semi-automatic because they think it sounds scary to the layperson. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to really get literal and technical, a musket would be semi-automatic. You know, a bolt-action rifle is semi-automatic. If you want, it's extremely slow, but you know, fair enough. But that one, they stayed fairly, you know. Here's another one, Perez Hilton. We saw this one. Police said they attended the Miami area home of celebrity blogger Perez Hilton after they received reports that he engaged in self-harm in a live stream video on TikTok yesterday. In a follow-up statement, Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office said the person was, why said the person was? Let's just say Hilton was, quote unquote, safely recovered and taken to a local hospital where he was receiving medical attention. Said deputy spoke to the family members at the scene who confirmed the person, why not just say Hilton again, had been alone inside the residence. Super innocuous story right there. Who, what, where, why, when. Yeah, 16-inch main guns on the Iowa-class boats are semi-automatic. Yeah, yep. You really want to do that. So you get my point here. I am seeing... I don't want to do the Ukraine one real because it's... You know what? Can I do it quick? Yeah, I think we can do this one just as a goof. Yeah, Ukraine has a new focus in bringing the war home to Russia, the country's biggest online retailer. Multiple Wildberries warehouses have been hit by Ukrainian drones in recent weeks, killing and injuring workers, as well as destroying millions of dollars worth of stock. Spoke to 2 Russian small business owners, told us they lost stock at several warehouses. They do that, they do the Ukrainian side. 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs, one of them being 1 sentence. There is a concerted effort, in my opinion, because I scan a lot of news, not just for this venue, but on my own, that I am seeing that I think it's very possible that the media is realizing they have pushed it too far. Are they turning? I don't know if they're crediting, to be fair, the bylines on those were not credited. So maybe we're having AI write it. Fine, if it does it without a political slant. Maybe we're going to our people in the trenches and saying, because I know goddamn well there's not a journalism school in the country that's saying, hey, you need to be less political. That's not happening, okay? But are bosses going to subordinates? Are editors going to their writers and going, hey, bottle the edge because we're in trouble? And I'm going to jump ahead. I'll jump ahead to why I think part of that is true. There is a concerted effort now to stop this from occurring, and the people that are trying to stop it don't surprise me. New York Times, David Ellison gets to write his own piece on his defense of the Paramount Warner deal. I'm not going to bore you with the details because I think everybody that's following entertainment is fairly aware of what's going on. Dana Bash didn't get the memo. Hey, there's a few of them, Jim. There's a few of them that are never going to get the memo, my brother. They're gone. You can't reason somebody out of a position they never reasoned themselves into in the first place. So you just kind of go, all right, Dana. And Spider has already, Spider pulled the canine and jumped the gun on me and brought up, guys, you're stealing all my points this morning. Unlike Jeremy Hambley and getting his points from his chat, you guys are just jumping the gun on mine, but thank you. I'm going to ride that fucking train all the way to the station too. What a jackass. Nobody complained when Disney bought everything. Not only did they not complain, big man, they were all on board. Oh, Disney's great. They would be wonderful. Because they knew full well what was going on. And they knew the asylums were going to be, the inmates were going to be able to run the asylum because Bob Iger can't run a business for shit. Bob Iger is fantastic at buying businesses, much like Trump is great at getting elected. After that point, they suck. You know, Bob Iger can buy the hell out of a business. Bob Iger couldn't run a business to save his life. I'll argue that one when anybody wants to get on stream. Here again, Trump. He's had two bites at the apple too. After the first one, I was like, well, you know. After this one, I'm like, you ain't even halfway done, and I'm already pissed at you. Once is a mistake, twice is a habit. That's why me and the Don ain't seeing eye to eye anymore. I don't like the guy personally. Let's be honest. Now, I've talked about it before. It's no big secret. I don't like the man personally. He gets on my goddamn nerves. He speaks like he's talking to a room of 5-year-olds, first of all. Second of all, I ain't buying it. I ain't buying the bullshit anymore. Can't close a deal. For a guy that makes deals all his life, he can't close one for shit. Anyway, Ellison goes through, I'm gonna sum up most of this. Ellison goes through and he talks about the gist of it is he believes that the reason that people on the left and in the biz are trying to hold up his deal is because they're shitting bricks about CBS and CNN. As well they should. Now, I'm gonna quick sidebar. and say, I love that Zephyr gets out from underneath it. Oh, finally, I'm not the only one reading ahead. That's true. You're not. Nice job. Way to step in and save your partner, Spidey. The WGA argues that their combined market power will hurt writers. I would like them to explain that to me. How is going to corporate leadership in any fashion any different for a union in one instance or another? You're a union, WGA. Why do you give a shit what corporate leader you go to? Because one's more amenable to you than the other is your concern. One's going to roll over and give you whatever you want, like a $2 whore. The other one's actually going to tell you to actually do some work in order to get paid. Well, if your negotiators are worth what you're paying them, you'll be able to get what you want. They just mad because the gravy train's over. Yeah, and it should be. The day, I'm going to tell you my opinion of media was bad. It's been bad my whole life. I'm going to tell you the day it absolutely collapsed. The day that I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm out. Now I'm actively going. Actually, there were two of them, but there's a book by a man called Bernie Goldberg about CBS. I can't remember the title of it right now to save my life, which is a pain in the ass because I just brought it up and I should be able to do it. But if you look up Bernie Goldberg, author, on Amazon, it'll be in there somewhere. And he tells about his days at CBS. And in that, he said, there was a line that I'll never forget, and I thought it was great. He said, a fish doesn't know it's wet. He was trying to explain how how does that environment just keep fostering itself over and over and over, and none of the people in that chamber can figure it out. When his summation was, it's because a fish doesn't know it's wet. If everybody in that room is a leftist, much like baseball, if everybody's on steroids, is it still illegal? Are you still getting an unfair advantage if everybody's on it? No, you're not. So there's that. But the one that really got me was Dan Rather, Mary Mapes, when they put that bullshit with Bush and they got busted, just flat out faking shit and knew they were lying. They were lying and they knew they were lying. It wasn't just, well, we didn't quite vet the way we should, which was the story, was we didn't quite vet. And then it turned out to be bullshit. They knew exactly that it was bullshit and they ran with it anyway. And that's when I was like, okay, we got a problem. And I actively went after them, sons of bitches. Now, Ellison goes through this whole, and it's a fairly lengthy article. I mean, it's New York Times. They get paid by the word. So, and Ellison's a fairly verbose character. So he goes through all the ways why, how and why people are opposed to his deal. Gist of it is they don't want me to gut the news agencies. I think there's more to it than that. I think they're a little scared that the gravy train's over. And they're going to have to, and their union's not going to get, what. First of all, if you're the WGA, I'd take whatever I can get because AI can step in and replace you in a fucking heartbeat. You think it can't? Please. AI we can make our own movies now, let alone write the damn story for them. Why would I bother? Riding off the rails of the gravy train, sir. Yeah. So I looked, I guess, I don't know if I made a leap that you all didn't, between these two stories that you all didn't get to make, prior to me telling you about them. I happened to read these two stories not too far apart from each other. I read the Ellison one first. And then I was reading, the NBC rundown of the day, and that's when it jumped out because I look for these things and I'm going, there's no hook here. There's no inflammatory language all over the place like I normally see. What's going on? Well, I'll go to the next story, and then that one didn't have it either, and I'm like, holy shit, did they just use AI to write all this? And then it dawned on me, you know what? I'll bet you money. Whether the Paramount-Warner merger goes through or not, it should be a hell of a wake-up call for everybody in the media. I'm sorry. Graham points out it's not WGA, it's CGA. It's the Communist Guild of America. I'm sorry. Much like Nerdrotic put me straight on SAG. It's actually the Film Actors Guild, and I needed to adjust my acronym accordingly. Sometimes, I miss. I don't want that one. That's the run-in. Let's do this one. I like this one. Play that one twice. That one's going to show up on a new intro that's going to take me forever to cut, but I think the media is catching on. I think they know, all right, we've pushed it too far. We screwed up. We need to dial it back, bottle the edge. Because you can tell a story. I mean, journalism, and this is not exclusive, so we're clear. I'm not blind. I'm an old man, relatively. I'm familiar that since, Walter Winchell was not unbiased, okay? Let's be clear. Walter Cronkite was not unbiased. None of the people in media have been unbiased for quite some time. Hell, back in the days when, kids in pantaloons had to yell, salacious headlines from the street corner to sell papers for a nickel. I get it. I'm not fucking stupid, okay? Media is, of a sort, a form of entertainment. You got to push it. People aren't just going to walk. Because if you walk by, a newsstand and it's got nothing but vote tallies and it doesn't have a police blotter, there's nothing salacious on there, people aren't going to read it. I get it. You need a hook. However, what you don't need to do is just flat out tell the story wrong every single time just to push the narrative. That shit's what's gotten way out of control. If it bleeds, it leads. I get it. I understand. But you got to bottle that edge. I got a thing with them about shootings. I wouldn't cover them, period. If it's a local news, and you have to tell people it's a local news station, you have to tell them, hey, don't go to this area. All right, go around here. Don't run their names. Don't push their narrative. None of that shit. I was around real close to when Columbine happened. It was the media coverage on that was just, to say pervasive would be the understatement of the century. And then you get copycats. I have a theory. That's why people do what they do. When Charles Whitman climbed that tower, look how many copycats you had after that, because it was all over the news everywhere. And then every nut roll with a cause and a long gun decided, I'm going to get out in front of the news. I'm going to be famous. Yeah, good point, Jim. Johnny Carson did a 10-minute monologue every night. You couldn't tell which way he leaned. You can go back and watch. If anybody thinks that's bullshit, go back. You can find them. Go watch some old Carson monologues. TikTok, YouTube, what have you. They're out there. Go find them. Johnny was fairly left, to be fair. If anybody doesn't know, Johnny was fairly leftist. Not hardcore. And I'm talking, when I say left from Johnny Carson Day, I'm talking classical liberal. I'm not talking about, AOC, Mondani, Hassan Piker. I can't even, fuck Hassan Piker. He doesn't believe anything he says. Can't call him a leftist. He's a nihilist. He believes in money. Doesn't believe in shit. Fucking rich kid. Getting even richer. Former little fat kid that got made fun of. Just like Che Guevara. Rich kid that got picked on. Now he's going to be somebody in the world. Fucking both of them. But, Johnny he's fairly left for his day. Hell, there's an old interview of, if you think Hollywood hasn't been left forever, there was an old interview with Humphrey Bogart that's from 1,000,000 years ago. And somebody asked him, what political party are you? And he said, Democrat, by God. Now, you're talking classical Democrats, not today Democrats. But policies didn't change much. And that's Graham's, kind of makes my point. Johnny was a Bill Maher color leftist. Bill Maher, to me, is a guy who strayed and thought he was going to jump on the bandwagon, just kept getting farther and farther and farther left until he woke up one day and went, oh, shit, the pot's boiling. I got to jump out. And he did. Well, he's trying to anyway. But yeah, John, he's a classical liberal. So, the newsreels that you saw from World War II, that news was selling it to people. You're not seeing guys with their arms blown off, okay? You're not seeing fields of scorched bodies all over the place. You saw Marines charging off the Amtraks, storming beachheads like animals, and, getting the job done. That's what you saw, and people back home, you had to go to a movie to see that shit. TVs weren't in everybody's houses yet. And they're like, hell yeah, man. We're on board. Yeah. Since the advent of a television in every home, the United States has not won a war. because people at home do not have the stomach for that shit. War's ugly. It's kind of ugly. People don't want to think about. They don't, trust me. People don't want to know about it. And Americans, I especially, are not conditioned for that shit at all. If we still lived back in the days when it was possible a bear could walk into your house and eat your entire family, and you had guns everywhere because you needed them, or, you know, Indians might come along and take all your shit, including your family. You know, if you had to live like that, where you had to grow your own food, kill it, fish it, grow it, something could kill you at any moment. Yeah, we could win another war. We are way past that. I might have to work that into the, since that's the name of the damn channel, I have to work that into the show every day from now on. We're way past that. And people are not conditioned to deal with that shit. Yeah. Jim's got a good one. JFK would be a conservative by today's standards. That's absolutely true. Especially in his personal proclivities, if anybody knows anything about that. Hold on. Graham made me laugh so hard I had to mute myself. I always thought of a classical liberal as saying, you know, I only want to set myself a little bit on fire. I only want to poke my left eye out, not both of them. Yeah, that's true. Now we kind of strayed down. Close that up. I think, to be fair, I always talk about, someday, light at the end of the tunnel. I will tell you this. The more and more I peruse the news, especially the bigs, I think they're scared. I think they're learning. And people never really learn a lesson until their food's gone. And I think they're, these news agencies realize our rice bowl is on its way out, man. We're about ready to lose our rice bowl, as we used to say. Got a story here about Laura Ingraham invites James Carville to join Republicans to defeat Democratic Socialists. Don't know that I'm going to do that because I don't care about James Carville's opinion, and they mentioned Hassan Piker and Illinois and all that. You're seeing some really. Let me tell you my opinion on what you're seeing in the Democrat Party. You're seeing the loss of independents giving a shit about being involved or really paying too much attention. They're just kind of like, eh. On the important levels, they're sort of not paying attention. So when people like Laura Ingraham go, we got to get James Carville on the Republicans. First of all, I don't want James Carville. I don't need his opinion on jack shit. James Carville got lucky with Bill Clinton. All right, let's just call a spade a spade. James Carville is like James Gunn. He got lucky one time and everybody thinks he's talented. My opinion, James Carville doesn't know shit from apple butter. He knows what him and 12 of his friends think, and that's it. And if you think that James Carville helped you defeat the brand of crazy that elects people like AOC and Mamdani and listens to Hassan Piker, you're out of your goddamn mind. James Carville is going to try and make salient points. They're going to be wrong, but he'll at least try and make them. The people who vote for people like Mamdani and AOC and listen to Hassan Piker couldn't care less about cognitive thought. Those are the people that believe eat the rich, for real. Graham's making fun of James Carville's eloquence. Yeah, first of all, the guy's from Louisiana, and he has an accent that you can barely cut through. Second of all, you cut through the accent, and you realize it's like cutting the husk off a coconut and realizing there's dog shit inside. And you go, oh, all that work for nothing, huh? All right. Got a story here about from Jonathan Turley about Hunter Biden. Oh, I ain't going to do the whole thing. Short version is Hunter Biden says the whole family's broke just because he's broke. You know why he's broke? Guy's got a $17 million legal bill. Good, fuck him. End of story. All right. We ain't doing that one neither. I want to do this one because we're getting late. I want to sneak this one in and see if I can get banned. This will probably do it. I ain't a big fan of sports in general, like hockey, the rest of it. Really couldn't much care about. The one that I could care least about is the WNBA. I don't even understand how this is a thing. I really don't. Girls' sports through high school and college, I think, is important. I want to get this out here because I legit think this is important. I have female family members older than me when they were in high school, played high school sports, okay? Basketball, volleyball, what have you. That's a very important program to have. I think women should have sports. I think women's sports should contain nothing but other women. Okay. Colin Rudd, and I don't use X. All of the stuff you see from me on X is I found it through other links. So we're clear. I don't do social media. I think it's a fucking cesspool. I think it's nice that people can share ideas freely. I love that. That's great. However, there's a lot of danger inherent to that, and I choose not to have that shit splash on me. So there you go. Real quick, before we go too far, yeah, here you go. Hockey's a sport for men. Everything else is boys playing with balls. That's pretty much where I shake out. Any sport that can let you fight and not eject you from the game immediately. When fighting with another man is part of the sport because they committed a penalty against you and the ref didn't call it, and you're like, all right, fuck it, let's just handle it, and you drop your gloves and go to it, that's my kind of sport. You and me, we're getting along just fine right there. Okay? Now, we're going to slide into the mental illness aspect of the show here. Colin Rudd on Twitter X. Social media users are calling on WNBA team to sign transgender French basketball player Julie Titart, who averages 21 points a game. Now, there have been women bodybuilders around for a long time. I don't know what Julie's given birth name was. It clearly wasn't Julie. Julie's ripped. Julie's shredded. And Julie's got a little mass going on, to be fair. Julie's 6'3". You want Julie slamming into Caitlin Clark when they've already got issues? Probably, Jeff. Could be. Could be. Not sure, but led France's League 2 in scoring and rebounds during the 2025-26 season. This animal could probably lead on rebounds on some of your shittier NBA teams. Be fair. Trans star won Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Domestic Player of the Year, according to Fox News. Let's take a look at Julie on the court here. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Chest bump. You think any of those gals want to get anywhere near this animal under the board? Come on, man. I ain't playing the audio to it. It's got some bullshit music soundtrack to it. It's going to get popped. And I'm like, nah, if I'm going to get popped, I'm going to get popped for something I said, not some music that I played. So let me get to that part. It is time. It is time to stop pretending. I'm going to tie this into that earlier story about the goofball that was walking around on the Trump golf course armed, checking out the, security systems on the golf course. Like I said earlier, there are enough crazy people walking around the planet. Okay? Let's not keep throwing wood onto the fire and then throwing this gasoline right on top of it. These people are mentally ill. It's time to get them the help that they need. Okay? At some point, I don't know when it was, the world decided that it was better for someone to go along with their delusion than to help them break through that illusion on their own and welcome them back to reality. I can tell you unequivocally, hell, Donna. Speaking of which, you can back my point up. You've probably dealt with people. Donna's probably dealt with people like this, just as I have. If you ever want to see somebody completely lose their shit, if you ever find yourself talking to a crazy person, shatter their illusion. shatter their bullshit reality, which is not reality. Okay? You shatter someone's delusion that's crazy, they will flip the fuck out. They will come unglued. Now, that's a painful process, and it's unpleasant in the extreme for everybody involved, not just for you when you're ducking, the violent psychotic reaction that you're going to get, but for them as well. You have just told somebody reality doesn't exist. That's a horrible thing to realize. I can only imagine. However, on the back end, when they receive treatment, sometimes medication, which I hate to say because I'm not really big into, pharmaceuticals, but sometimes you just need what you need, And you see commercials for, the drugs that help with tardive dyskinesia. The tardive dyskinesia comes from people taking medication, which is antipsychotics, which is letting them live those lives where they're interacting with people that they say, I need this to go away because I'm putting people off with my tardive dyskinesia. Okay. So is it rough? Yeah. On the back end, though, things can get better. You can help them. They can be productive members of society, happier people. Psychotic people are not happy. Okay. They genuinely are physically unhealthy. They're in dangerous situations. They sleep on the street. It's horrible. It's a horrible existence. Excuse me. It's time to stop pretending that everything's okay. Sure you are. Yeah, you can be whatever you want. Cut this off and stick that there and wear a dress, and sure, you're an astronaut now. Jimmy, you're not an astronaut. If Jimmy puts on a space helmet, he's not an astronaut. Look, if I go in the other room and I cut the legs off one of the dogs and shave it and glue scales to it, tape its mouth shut, stick a tube through the back of its neck, and throw it in the fish tank, it does not become a goldfish. That is not how it works. As much as certain people would like everybody to be happy, here's where we need to shatter the illusion. It's not just with the crazy people, because they're already crazy, right? You got your hands full right there already. It's the primary form of crazy, which is living a life thinking that you can make everybody happy. You cannot. You ever want to learn that lesson hard and fast, go work with the public, especially when the public's in situations where they're already off their rocker. Like I do, like Donna does, like most people in retail, quite frankly, that show up. If people in retail are talking to you, you're either taking money from them and they're walking out with their things, or they're pissed at you. Food service industry, same thing. Any time you're working with the public, you ain't going to make everybody happy. I had that talk with the little McCoy when she was here. We were talking about, she was doing a couple of gigs, and she's like, man, I hate dealing with people. I said, you better get used to it, baby, because it doesn't get any better. It just is, it's impossible to make everybody happy. Start there. You are going to run into people at times, as much as it makes you uncomfortable, that are crazy. And you need to tell them, hey man, you got a problem. We need to get you some help, get you medicated, get you some talk therapy, get whatever it is that we need to pull you out of that world that you're living in that is different than the world every other human being is living in, which is tangible, you can touch, and is real and verifiable. You're not St. Jerome. As much as you would like to be an astronaut, Jimmy, you're not. Michael Palin would disagree. For those that want to see where I stole that joke from and what I'm talking about with the putting the tube through the back of the dog's neck, there is a sketch, Monty Python sketch, that's called Pet Shop. It's not the Dead Parrot sketch. They look very similar. Don't confuse them. It's called Pet Shop. But it is essentially the perfect example. It is the perfect analogy of what people are trying to do with the trans fad, which is Michael Palin tries to sell John Cleese a cat because he came in looking for a fish and he didn't have one at the pet shop. But he says, look, tell you what I can do, Gov. Take a cat, cut its legs off, shave it, lick a gold paint tube through the back of its neck, throw it in the fish tank. Makes a lovely goldfish. I went back and rewatched that one a while back. I don't remember how long. And I was like, son of a bitch. Those guys, man, let's get out of the bullshit. Let's move on to Monty Python because they're fun. Let's talk about them. It's amazing to me. We had a show about Monty Python one time. We broke them down real hard. Comedy is an interesting line of work to me. I think to be a good comedian, you have to be smart. All of the boys from Monty Python were highly educated. Classical British educations, except for Gilliam, who was an American, who was a complete scumbag. Not a big fan of Terry Gilliam's, personally. I'm not sure how the rest of the group feel about him. I know how Eric Idle feels about him now, since his daughter is running their savings into the ground as their new business manager. I ain't gonna tell that story right now, but they made social commentary that at the time was brilliant satire that has come to pass as some people's reality. And it blows my fucking mind. I'm like, how is prescient the word I'm looking for? How far thinking, how far ahead thinking, how prescient were they that they knew, sure, it's funny now, but it continued throughout. It was every observation that they made, the ridiculousness and the satire of every situation. There are people walking this planet right now that believe that is reality, and it blows my mind. It makes me kind of, thanks. I thought it was prescient. Like I said, I'm loaded up. The cough syrup's starting to kick in, and I'm just like, where the fuck am I at right now? I'm better on stream intoxicated, in case anybody hasn't figured it out. I've tried to do shows straight, and it's like, yeah, it's okay, but it's never quite as good as when Sheriff's a little looped. Oh, Old Man Hatfield is good. Also, Monty Python. I reject your reality and submit my own. They were brilliant. Comedy should be comedy because satire should be something you look at and go, I can't believe how ridiculous it. Nobody would believe that. It's ridiculous. Well, now we have a problem. And Graham brings up a good point. I'm just going to touch on this for a second. He says he genuinely feels for the actual trans folks out there. This is not a new phenomenon. That's very true. This isn't. I'm not going to read the whole thing because he'd take up. Now it's just me and Graham screaming, but we're not doing that. There are people who have genuine mental illness. I'm not talking about people that do it for certain reasons, which it's a fad now. And they go, well, they can come out about it now and talk about bullshit. They're jumping on the bandwagon. Okay. There was a clinic in a town I used to live in that had genuine trans people in it. Some of them tried to make the transmission. Very, very few of them. You could watch these people go into this therapy, into the office repeatedly over and over. It's long story short, happened to work where the entrance to my job was near the entrance, not the entrance to the clinic, the entrance that was next to the entrance of their clinic. So you get to see their parking lot, them walk in and out all the time, especially on shift work because you're there constantly, right? Watching them over a period of a year, some people stopped coming. 2 of them stopped coming. The rest of them kept coming, but all of them, and they were all men, which is, I find odd, stopped wearing dresses and went back to being just normal, not normal, but men who were dealing with mental health issues. Okay. I found that fascinating. Man, I wish these are back in the days when, phones didn't have cameras in them and not everybody had a phone in their pocket. So I don't have, video evidence of all. This is all anecdotal. I have no way to prove this. Certainly you're not going to get medical records. That's just my observation. Okay. I find that if you give them the treatment and opportunity, things go a little bit differently. We need to do that because there are plenty of crazy people out there. We don't need to support this fad, which is what it is. And people go, it's not a fad. More people are talking about it. I'm going to tell you how it's a fad. Show me a Hollywood personality that doesn't have at least one quote unquote trans kid in their family now. bullshit. It's to get known. You want to get known. You and Gypsy Rose Lee. Great. Now you're known. I am not up enough on the. Graham says his guess is most of them are autogynephilics and not actually trans. I'm not up enough on the current DSM to. I don't even know what DSM's up to, edition wise now. But to speak intelligently on that, I would guess you're probably barking up the right tree on that. I got to be honest with you. My feeling is most of them have some societal dysfunction that fills the need for. There's an attachment disorder that they're trying to fill. And that's just the quickest, easiest way to get known. You want to look, and if you think I'm wrong about they just want to get known, every whack job that you look at, you dig into their background a little bit, go all the way back to the Columbine kids. You really want to know about some crazy shitbag's background. It's kids. It's bullied kids. It's, left behind. The ones that society left behind, and they become damaged people and they want to get known. And trans is now the big, easy, quick way to do that. Attention-seeking behavior. Yeah, old man Hatfield's correct. Called attention-seeking behavior. There's a bunch of shit in the DSM if you ever really want to get into it about, which particular kind of this, that, and the other thing it is. I don't know, and I ain't a psychiatrist. I don't give a shit. I tell you the Occam's razor version of it, that's what it is. It's people wanting to get known. Because society damages some people, and that's their quickest way back. They want revenge. They want to get popular. I'll show them. Great. Unfortunately, people like that, since we decided it was too hard to, actually help them and treat them, we just kind of leave them go by the wayside. Here's your SSRIs. Good luck. See you in 6 months. Well, you're going to see them a hell of a lot sooner than that. You're going to see them on the headlines next week or however long it takes the SSRIs to completely take any neuroinhibitive activity out of their brain, and there they go. Excuse me. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Here we go. All right. So we've done all of that. It's time to take the hard road. Time to make the hard choices. Time to hurt people's feelings a little bit so you can get them where they need to be. I'll put it to you this way. You think a doctor's afraid to tell somebody they got cancer? Yeah, they are, but they do it anyway because you need to do it to get them well. You're like, look, you got cancer. You're going to die unless we do this. Same thing. Different illness. Same level. This is something that is hurting you that can kill you. You need to treat it. Same thing. Pretending that it won't is ignoring statistics. And I'm not talking about lies, damn lies and statistics. I'm talking about straight out certain group, certain percentage of this group ain't going to be around very long. You need to fix that shit. Would you rather have their feelings hurt or put them in the ground? There, let's do that. You want them to not cry or you want to plant them? Because this, what they're doing, especially to younger people, man. These are people that can't figure out how to balance a checkbook. And you're going to have them make life-altering decisions like that? Come the fuck on. All right. We've done enough of that bullshit. See if we got anything else we want to do. No, I had a Dollar Shave Club story. I ain't going to do that one. We beat it up enough for today. We got plenty of shit to do tomorrow. If I do it all in one day, we're going to have anything to do for the rest of the week, man. Can't have that. Before we get out of here, as I'm wrapping up, how'd she go, Hatfield? Did you have a good run? Docs, everything's okay? You're gonna live through this week? Catch the rest of the shows? Outlaws got one tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 2000 for us military types. Eastern. Gonna do Hunt for Red October versus Crimson Tide. Make sure and hit that. I'm gonna try and get there. I told Donna Hall I'll be in for that. As long as I don't, die in between now and then. I like to go to the absolute worst possible outcome of any scenario. So I may die before tomorrow. There, how's that? catch pneumonia and die in 24 hours. Highly unlikely, but it'll garner me. Someday if I ever get monetized, that'll garner me. Somebody go, oh, here's $10, don't die. Okay. Then I got to take that $10 and give it to some fund to donate to, like I said. See, you thought I was going to get through the whole thing and not promo that. Nah. Of course I'm going to promo it. Two great movies. They were, man. Hunt for Red October was... I'm going to tell you this, and you're going, no, not you, Sheriff. First time I ever saw Hunt for Red October, I was drunk. I was pissed drunk. I actually passed out in the theater. Missed half the movie. So I had to go see it again. But it was a pretty good event. I'll tell that Applebee's story one day about how that occurred. I almost got arrested, too, in the run-up to seeing that movie. That was a good time. And, yeah, Graham brings up a good one. If you didn't see Monday's show, go watch the VOD on that Unfiltered Outlaws from this Monday show. It was August 3rd. Go check that one out because it was heavy. And if you ever want to know, there's a lot of bad people on the internet, a lot of skeezy people on the internet, and there are some good people on the internet. If you want to meet at least one of them, maintain rage. If you ever want to run into somebody they ain't just talking a good game, they're walking the walk. Maintain Rage is one of them. Not only is he funny and Australian, which to us Americans is entertaining in and of itself because they talk funny, but an actual funny person. And he's just a good cat. Go watch that show, man. It's heavy. I mean, full disclosure, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna set you up for failure. It's heavy. It's pretty, and it's got a bunch of disclaimers on it. It's about child trafficking. You can check it out. And if you, thank you, Donna. You know what? I'll die comfortable now. Donna says if I die, she got a backup guest. It's all good. Thank you, because that was the thing that was keeping me back. It's like, whoa, geez, Doc, I'd be okay with dying, but I got a show tomorrow night, and I'm not sure that Donna will be able to get a backup in time. And then if it was my Dr. Bob, he'd be like, oh, it's fine. I'll take care of it. You can go. She'll find somebody. Go ahead, die. Like, thanks. Thanks, Bob. And then Zephyr, there's a link to that show if you want to watch it. Go out and check her out. It was a good time. It was serious, but it needed to be. Well, it's kind of hard to talk about something like that and go, yeah, it was funny how you kicked in that door and there was those 7 kids being trafficked from Thailand. Yeah, that's not the kind of subject you do that for at all. I don't think there's a happy part of that. There might be a funny story where, you remember when we were training that day and I tripped getting out of the van and fell and broke 2 teeth? Yeah, that was funny. But other than that, that's about the only time you're going to laugh at some shit like that. Thank you, Zephyr. Yes, thank you for putting that link up there. I highly recommend it. In fact, if you need a VOD to check out for, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours, go do that one. Because there's some things going on in the world that I think people need to know about. And you need to know about the people that are fighting a good fight, and especially some of the people that are here on the internet. I got to tell you, man, I've been watching a bunch, and we talked about it. I talked about it Monday, and there's some scummy people on the internet. I click on some shit and watch it for about 30 minutes and go, God dang, I can't handle this no more. That's true. There is a part in there about a bad guy that went ahead and relieved himself right on the spot as soon as Rage grabbed hold of him, which would make most people piss their pants, to be fair, because Rage's a big dude. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, Mr. Cat Piss Pants, and you'll learn, fear smells just like cat piss. Fear and lying. I don't know what kind of chemical pheromone those people are putting out, but when somebody's scared to death or lying their ass off, they smell like cat piss. Could be just me. I got an overly sensitive nose. Anyway, I hope everybody's had a good time today. I had a ball. Meds are starting to wear off, so I think I'm going to go in and down another bottle of cough syrup and see what happens for the rest of the day. Try not to use the stove. Try to not play any complicated games for the rest of the day. Lose some character I got 1,400 hours in, or brick some RPG I've been playing for 2 years. We'll see what happens. I might do That depends. I don't know. I might have to rest up. Got a show tomorrow. Got that one tomorrow night. I might need to give the cords a rest for a little bit. I don't know. Shit, I feel like gaming though. I might have to climb on later. Hope everybody's had a good time. God bless you. Thank you for coming here. I appreciate you being here this morning. Oh, before we go, Graham Robbins went out and found something on the internet. Fear can produce a distinct odor in humans. There you go. See, I ain't making it up. Due to the presence of pheromones in sweat. There it is. With scientific evidence from Graham Robbins, the Lorax. Proof. Beyond the shadow of the more you know. Beyond the shadow of a doubt because the internet said so. And by God, if it's on the internet, that shit's got to be true. It's in print. God bless you, everybody. I want everybody to have a fantastic day today. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people. Make one person laugh. If you don't, you're just wasting a gift. Unless you're not very good at making people laugh. If you suck at it, do something else. Cook them a meal. I don't know. Get them a snack. Hand them a pillow. See somebody like, lozenge. Do that. But be good to yourself. Make that person first in line. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people, especially people we don't feel like being good to, because that's what the good Lord told us to do. I'll catch y'all later.
I'm just about done here. I never did know your name.
Yes, you do. Take care.
Yes, sir, Captain.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man.
You finished?
It's the end of the road. You bastards!
Between Glamorgan and Yorkshire, the Yorkshire bowler Nicholson took 8 wickets for 3 runs. Glamorgan were all out for 36 and therefore won the match by an innings and 7 runs. Weather for tomorrow will be cloudy with occasional outbreaks of rain. And that is the end of the news.
And now?
Can we go home now?